Okay. And this is the last, this will be the end of it. I'd like to say something about the autobiographical thing now. You see, that in the memoir that I wrote about Black Mountain College and my relationship with Franz Klein, it has to be understood that the memoir it is about me. That's what the memoir is, so that other people come into focus through my own self and my, it seems the memoir. It seems the most egotistical form of all, but it is actually the least egotistical. Like fiction is the most egotistical form. I mean, absolutely, because it's a total manipulation of the writer's potential. What is available? That your Mabel piece that you had in that Milk thing 7, boy, that's the best so far. And Ted and I had a long talk about. I was out there for a week, and we had a long talk about that. That really is. I think wasn't it? Was it another little magazine that came out just?
It was like I've been in Chicago like that.
You really come into other voices. The tonally is just really beautiful. I mean, so Ted and I.
The thing about autobiography makes that.
Right.
It's where you presume yourself. It's where you try to take yourself as a real condition.
Right. Absolutely.
Very humble.
So the autobiographical thing is where you take yourself. You take. I mean, here I take myself, as you'll hear, but in the memoir, you're in autobiography. You're inevitably and immediately involved with others. But the memoir is actually your voice of like remembering. But it's tough. It's
those
kind of
two books you speak of, like the Black Mountain book, and an emotional memoir. Both of those turn out to be the most extraordinary way of measuring the reality of those two men. They turn out to be real measures. I'm reading, for example, various quote historical takes on Black Mountain, very like Muses.
Right.
Because there's no proposition of a measure,
Mm-hmm.
there's no experience of a measure, there's no condition of a measure.
Right.
Nothing. Whereas if you put your own quote neck on the line, there's at least something evident in the field. Then the presence of the other person is permitted to come and go at some real event. Those are beautiful.
But then, of course, it comes in with the first person.
Yeah, I love the first person. First person I saw it.
It's you. First person. Right. All right. So in that sense, this right. Yeah. But the ego throughout the memoir and the autobiography is seriously challenged because of other lives.
Yeah.
You see, and almost like Sherwood Anderson is such a total failure.
Well, he
thought he could control his responses and his feelings. I mean, make it this way or that way. But I mean, you're doing the real number, and you've got to say things. And you know how much more material I've written about Franz and Black Mountain since the books have been published. Berrigan told me to write a book about Olson.
Yeah.
And then have the three of them have the Klein book, the Black Mountain book, and the Olson book in one book. Do it at one solid shot. Wow.
I really read those books many times.
Yeah, me too.
That's the best kind of writing.
You see, it really sounds funny and egotistical. It sounds like Bob and I, like saying something that we would say to each other at a bar, but it really is not true. Because when you write something, and those books were entirely beyond me. Believe me, I had in no way any control. I mean, I was simply brought forward. I mean, into the medium drew me in. I mean, this is Olson's statement saying it takes you by the nose and you damn well follow. You follow. So I followed. And thereby, I mean, every 2 or 3 years, like I take that book and I sneak off and I say, boy, this fucking guy, whoever wrote this book, he really had some nerve, you know. I mean, wow. You know, and Seymour Krim, who acted as my agent, I told Dorothy and I think Alan and Buddy this evening, it was true that when Krim, who acted as my agent for the Black Mountain Climb book and did get it published, he told me when he read the manuscript, he got so thirsty. Halfway through it, he finished the manuscript, he was plastered. You know, he thought he's got to sell this book, which he did. You know. Okay, but I mean, it works really all the way. I mean, this is then with the agent, and Sarah was Sarah Blackburn, Paul Blackburn's wife. Then she was my editor. So then, I mean, none of this is coincidence. I mean, then it follows. It's full circle. But these are professional people. Listen, have you seen Krim's new book, You and Me?
No.
Boy, it's the best thing. It's dynamite. Okay. Huh? He's dynamite. Let me tell you, he's got the funniest passage in there. He's got a passage in there on a Jewish painter from New York called Sam Goodman, who had a show of his own shit. And Seymour has an essay in there on Sam Goodman called Epitaph for a Canadian Kike. And I mean the New York Jewish establishment has absolutely crucified Seymour. And that is the funniest piece of writing, the most amusing, hilarious piece of writing that I've read since Robert Louis Stevenson's The Master of the Ballandray. And I'm telling you, and there's a passage in The Master of Ballantrae, Robert Louis Stevenson, which is exactly where what's that English coffin for Demetrius? Ambler comes from.
You know,
Stevenson.
Wittgenstein thought, like really dug Dostoevsky, and he thought his greatest book was The House of the Dead.
You remember? And Lawrence said the Russians are bores. You know.
I don't.
Don't you? But I mean, this is the counterpoint. I mean, this is.
No, but I dig what he meant.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sure. But I mean, I just wanted to. No, I didn't mean to. That I mean, I didn't. I don't feel the Russians are bores. I mean, Ed Sanders just told me. Ed Sanders said I was the new Chekhov. Are you kidding? You don't think I'm a back D.H. Lawrence, do you? Huh?
Have you read that?
Sanders? No, but I've seen some absolutely marvelous things of his recently in Little Magazine. That's exactly. He's beginning to, like, so to speak, return. We finished with our. Okay, back to the beach, right? In fact, I think I'm gonna have a little refreshment here.